This week's Tales from the Wrestling History Book is going to focus on a very special pay-per-view, and it's going to focus on the Evolution 2018 pay-per-view. But before we get into that, I want to introduce to you my tag team partner, one of my friends, King Will. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you, Professor?
Doing good. Now, if we look a little disheveled, we are recording this after we just finished our latest episode on Ringside Rant. If you haven't watched that, go to stadiumrant.com. We're live on Thursdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It's fun time. So, now that we got the plug-in in, let's go ahead and discuss the first ever all-female WWE show, Evolution 2018. Since Evolution is coming back in July 12th, and thank God it's back. But what are your thoughts on Evolution 2 coming back?
Well, it'll be Sunday, July 13th at 7 o'clock, but I'm excited for it to come back. I'm a little disappointed it took 7 years for it to come back. Hopefully it doesn't take 7 years till Evolution 3. One thing I like better about Evolution 2, we're going to get into here in a minute. The first Evolution had way too many legends coming back. Now with NXT and Raw and SmackDown, and if you include TNA and AAA, there's no need to bring a bunch of legends back. You have a deep enough women's division as it is, minus tag team, to burn the belts.
Yeah, I can see your point here, but here's where I'll counter that. This is the first ever all-female WWE show. You cannot have an all WWE female show without having legends in there. And I'm fine with them competing in matches. And to be honest, some of them actually did pretty well on here, you know? Like, I'll give you an example. Trish Stratus, even though I don't think Lita was all that crisp in the ring, I thought she did pretty well. And I felt like it was a need, and there's so many talent that was involved here. I mean, even in the Battle Royal, you had like Molly Holly, you had Kelly, Tori Wilson was a part, Alundra Blaze, Maria Kanellis was in it, Michelle McCool, Ivory was in it. Like, so many notable names, and I got to be honest with you, I thought it was a good idea. And
for that one, it was.
Yep. And I like the fact that for commentary, they had Renee Young, Beth Phoenix as well was on there. Michael Cole was also commentating on the English side, but Beth Phoenix actually did a really good job commentating in this as well.
The glam is on. Yeah, she was pretty good commentator. Now, I'll say for the first Evolution, you needed the legends, but you don't need them for the second one.
Yeah. By the way, did you know that one Aubrey Edwards from AEW was one of the officials for this pay-per-view?
I did know that. I think it was one of her only times in the WWE.
I believe so. I mean, this was the most memorable part of her in WWE I can remember. Even Jessica Carr was officiating this match as well. And I just felt like it was really cool. And they even had Eve Torres as a part of the show, too, on the pre-show. I mean, I don't watch the pre-show, especially back then. The pre-shows were really boring. But really cool. Really cool. And this actually took place at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, which is where I'm close by. I couldn't have gone to the show because at the time I was in college and I had the mentality of focusing on my education more than going to pro wrestling. So at the time I was just more studying, and I'd rather watch it at home on my laptop or on my TV than in person. So I could have gone, but I couldn't have gone, which sucks. It's one of the shows I wish I would have gone, but I'm glad I need a degree, especially in this economic market, right? Well, I need a degree. So
this was also on the good old WWE Network.
Yep. I kind of miss the WWE Network with everything like all disorganized on Peacock.
Now, allegedly, I might still have the WWE Network, even though they claim that it's dead. It's not actually dead.
Well, I know it's still active in a few international markets. I miss the WWE. The one thing I will say, though, the WWE Vault channel and the WCW Vault channels, really good. If you haven't subscribed to those channels, do so now. And I wouldn't be shocked if they uploaded the entire Evolution show on the WWE Vault channel, like the top matches.
It might be on Peacock now. I haven't looked.
I believe so too, but Peacock's a mess when it comes to like searching up older pay-per-views and all that. And we'll see how they do a better job of showcasing the library. But I personally think Max does a better job with the AEW shows. With all AEW Dynamites, Rampages, Collision, previous pay-per-views. But that's just me. Anyways, getting back to Evolution 2018, I thought it was a very, very important show for WWE, and it's something that I'm a little surprised didn't happen like during the mid 2015s, because that's when women's wrestling was starting to really be taken seriously at that time. It was when they got rid of that Divas Championship, which is basically an earring belt, I used to call it at the time. It was so bad. But it finally happened in 2018, and it marked a change in WWE. Because remember, like I said, WWE didn't treat women's wrestling as something well. Like TNA did back in the day in the mid 2010s was so much better with their knockouts division.
The beautiful people.
Yep. Awesome Kong. Gail Kim, who's amazing. Go watch her time in TNA and all her matches there. It's great. But this pay-per-view sparked like change was happening and women's wrestling was taken seriously.
Yeah, this is around the same time. Now, I don't know if you had Twitter back then, where fans were on Facebook and Twitter, and I think MySpace was gone. Maybe MySpace was still around, with the hashtag Let Women Wrestle for like an entire week straight. And I believe the first Evolution was more or less an answer to that.
Correct. I believe so too. I remember I didn't have Twitter at the time, but I remembered like everyone on social media was like wanting this, and WWE, including Stephanie McMahon, said we listen to our fans, which is a bunch of bollocks. They don't listen to the fans as often, but they still did the show, and I gotta say, it was a really good pay-per-view. I enjoyed rewatching this show. There was a total of 7 matches, 8 if you want to count the pre-show, but pre-show was a little disappointing because it was a 4-minute match. It was between Rhea Ripley and Dakota Kai. It was a singles match for, at the time, the NXT UK Women's Championship. This was when they were really pushing the UK NXT market. It didn't that whole entire brand ended because of the pandemic and wasn't getting any views. But quick 4-minute match between Rhea and Dakota. Rhea Ripley won the match. There's not really much else to say.
I didn't even watch that match. I didn't know that match happened until right now.
Yeah, it did happen. So, you ready to get into the main card, the main match, or do you want to add some more facts to this show?
Well, the main match, I believe, was Ronda Rousey defending her championship. Was it Flair?
No, it was against Nikki Bella.
That's right, it was against Nikki Bella. But it was Ronda Rousey defending her title.
Yeah, it was the Raw Women's Champion. This was when the brand split meant something. There is no brand split, like I said many times. WWE does a poor job with the brand split. A little weird that they decided to give Ronda Rousey the main event match against Nikki Bella here, but it's Ronda Rousey. She's like one of the main reasons why women's sports, especially in MMA, mixed martial arts, UFC, and WWE got as big as it did. Like, she was such a big star, so I'm not really shocked. It's not my favorite match on the show, by the way.
No, it wasn't. If I remember right, it wasn't much of a match. Ronda Rousey won it pretty handily.
Yeah, it was like a 14-minute match, if I remember correctly. I mean, it was okay for a main event, but not too terrible. And like I said, I'm not a big Bella Twins fan, but Nikki Bella is much better than Brie Bella. And I thought she handled herself well in this match.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think either one of the Bella Twins ever pinned Ronda.
No, I don't think so. I can't remember.
And on I can't remember. And on the SmackDown Women's Championship, Becky Lynch defended the belt against Charlotte Flair. And this is when Becky was first becoming a heel, if I remember right.
Yeah. My favorite match on the show is Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. And they tried so badly to get Charlotte Flair to be cheered when Becky Lynch was starting to become the man. It did not work, and everyone loved Becky. Like, it was so hilarious seeing WWE trying to make Charlotte Flair the face in this. Meanwhile, she was not the face. In fact, she was the bad guy in this situation, or girl.
I'm trying to remember. Wasn't this a follow-up to a Mania story where they tried to keep Becky out of Charlotte's match, or is that a year later?
I think that was a year later, if I remember correctly, because this happened in October. Super Showdown was the previous show. That was when they had that Australia, like it was one of the first shows in Australia, if I remember correctly. I can't remember, to be honest with you. But
what year did Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte fight at Mania?
Good question. I believe, was it WrestleMania 30? Was it 34 or 30? No, it wasn't 34. 30. I think it was WrestleMania 35, if I remember correctly.
So that would have been 2019, I believe.
I believe so too. 2019 was a terrible year.
We also had an NXT Women's Championship match. Kairi Sane defended her title against Shayna Baszler.
Another good match. This was when Shayna Baszler was actually being booked properly, and Kairi Sane. I love Kairi Sane. I think she's so underrated, and everyone is still giving her heat because of the injuries to Zoe Starks and Liv Morgan. But she's still a very, very good pro wrestler. And
I remember right, during this time is when Shayna Baszler was being pushed as the Queen of Spades.
Correct. She was in the NXT brand. She was dominant, and this is where I believe she started her big reign.
I believe you're right. We also had a 2018 Mae Young Classic final. Io Shirai, who's now Io Sky, taking on Toni Storm, who's now Timeless Toni Storm.
Hey, we talked about this last episode.
One of the biggest mistakes Vince ever made was letting Toni leave.
Yep. And that was a good match, too. I love Toni Storm and Io Shirai. That was a really fun matchup. Toni Storm was the right person to win the match. It's just a shame how Vince thought her getting a pie thrown at her face was going to get her over.
I remember.
And at the time, Toni was so pissed that she walked out of the company.
If I remember right, I'm trying to remember. I'm a huge Toni Storm fan. This is back when her outfits were made of leather, half black, half red.
Yeah.
She had blonde hair. She kind of looked like a skater punk girl. That is during that time frame, right?
Correct. Yes. She also had the eye black or the tape on her eye.
Yep.
Yeah, and she was great in NXT too.
Yeah, and then she got to the main roster, whatever reason Vince didn't like her, through the pie in her face, and now she's Timeless Toni Storm.
Yeah, and the scripted promos that she had too. It was awful. But it was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was a 10-minute match. We did skip another match previously. It's the 6-woman tag match. It was Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya versus the Riot Squad. Remember Riot Squad with Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan?
Yes, before they ruined Sarah Logan's career by making her Valhalla.
No, her career was already ruined when she got released early on. Once she got released the first time, it's yeah, she's done. But this was also during a time when they were trying to book the tag team, starting to grow that whole thing. And they basically had every single week Sasha Banks and Bayley versus 2 members of the Riot Squad for 4 months, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that was so
every
bad.
episode on Raw. And that was also during a time when Sasha and Bayley were fighting against each other, and they were teasing a heel turn, and then Sasha Banks basically said, "Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. I just did that because I loved you." It was so weird. And then they turned her back to babyface, and they even had Bayley and Sasha go to Dr. Shelby's office too to repair their. It was so stupid. It was so stupid. I hated it. They should have broken up then. But I remember that time on Raw. I'm well, this is my bathroom break match, because at the time I loved Ruby Riott. I thought she was great. Sarah Logan at the time was sloppy, and Liv Morgan was just still green. Like, she's not the Liv Morgan we know and love. But at the time, this was when she had the blue tongue.
Yeah.
And she was still a little
different
green.
colored hair all the time.
Yeah. I mean, there was still potential in there for her, but like she was green as heck, and they called her up a little too early. And the Riot Squad, it just never went anywhere. Never went anywhere.
No, the crazy thing about the Riot Squad was the first one to break out. Going by now, you would think it was Liv Morgan. It was actually Ruby Riot who first got the title shot out of the group. She, of course, didn't win the title. She would disappear a few years later, reappear in AEW. Believe she got hurt, or they just decided she was a waste of TV time.
No. You got that wrong. She was pregnant. Her and Angelo Parker actually are a couple. And
okay, so she did get pregnant, not injured.
Yes, and she's actually training for a comeback. I did see a photo of Ruby Riot with her child in the ring. It looks like she's training for a comeback. So,
if I remember right, when she got to AEW, they tried attaching her to Saraya for a minute.
Yep, they had her come out in the Owen Hart Championship in the finals to Rancid too, which was a really cool thing.
That wasn't the only women's tag team match that night. You also had Trish and Lee to take on Mickie James and Alicia Fox, who was getting somewhat of a push back then.
I don't know why.
And Alexa Bliss was in their corner. I do want to say that Alicia Fox did get a title shot sometime around there.
No, that was during her like crazy like gimmick. Like she had like a weird captain gimmick, and I think that was during the time when the cruiserweights were. Was that during the time when she had that infatuation with Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar, if I remember correctly? Was that 2018? I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember Alicia Fox.
We've slept since then.
Yeah, like she was. Yeah. I believe she was in that like crazy gimmick. You know, it was stupid. I like Alicia Fox. She was actually not bad. It's just this crazy gimmick wasn't something I liked.
Now, this is going to sound bad, but I also might say, if you watch Ringside Rant, it also sounds like something you would expect the King to say. The only thing I remember about Alicia Fox is she had hella long legs.
Huh?
Only thing I remember about Alicia Fox is she had super long legs. I believe she played basketball at some point in her life. Other than that, I don't remember much about Alicia Fox.
I gotta be honest with you, Will. That's gotta be the weirdest thing that you've ever said.
She used to wear these black leather shorts and a black leather bra, and she had really long legs. That's all I remember about her.
What I also remember is she had the Halle Berry look.
Yes, she did.
Like I remembered like in the early 2010s, I used to watch her during the Divas era, which was not the greatest era. I would always look at her. I'm like, oh my God, is that Halle Berry? Or like, I thought she was legitimately the sister of Halle Berry.
Now that you mention it, I could see that.
Yeah. And I am also glad that she got her life in order, because I don't know if you know this, she did have an issue with alcohol at the time. And she got herself sober, and she's in a much better place. But I am proud of her for that. And I don't think she was the worst. It's just I didn't like her crazy gimmick at the end of her career.
No, that crazy gimmick was horrible. It was unneeded. I'm trying to remember why Alexa Bliss would have been in Mickie James and Alicia Fox's corner. I don't remember.
I think that was during the time when Mickie James was with Alexa Bliss.
Yes, because they made fun of Nia Jax in the bathroom before Mania.
Ding, ding, ding. I wanted to see if you remembered. By the way, that whole feud was so terrible. Oh, I hated that. Of
course it was. Nia was part of it.
Well, duh, but I also hated the fact like she basically at WrestleMania, after winning the belt from Alexa, was like, this is what happens, you know, everyone needs to stand up for, you know, to bullies. Meanwhile, you were bullying the entire roster like a month ago, so what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh my God.
And then
Speaking of Nia Jax, let's talk about the Battle Royal. She won it.
I'm going to read the roster, and then who was in it, and then we can talk about it.
Yep.
Asuka was in it. Naomi was in it. Nia Jax, Carmella, Ember Moon, who's now Athena in Ring of Honor.
She's great. Well, she's also in AEW now, but her as Athena in Ring of Honor, like go back and watch those like tape for Ring of Honor. She's great. I love Athena.
Billie Kay, who's now Jessica McKay, I believe. Peyton Royce, who's now Cassie Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Sonya Deville, who's now unemployed. Mandy Rose, who's now on OnlyFans.
Dana Brooke, who's now in TNA.
Lana, Zelina Vega, Tamina, Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, Alundra Blaze, Ivory, Molly Holly, Kelly Kelly, and Marie Kanellis.
I think Carmella was also in that match.
Yep. Mella is money.
Well, not anymore because she's not with WWE anymore, but she is
that
with
was
Corey
back
Graves.
When she was still with Enzo and Big Cass.
Yeah, well, I don't know. No, I think Enzo and Big Cass were called up at that point because this was in 2018. The pay-per-view happened.
Yeah.
2016 it was when they got called up. Remember, Kevin Owens became the Universal Champion, and it was Big Cass versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus was Roman, Seth, Kevin Owens, and Big Cass.
2018.
I think Enzo was fired. Enzo was fired in 2019, if I remember correctly, because the dude pissed away his potential. I know Big Cass was fired around there too.
Who's now back in AEW as
Yeah, Big Cass got released in June. This pay-per-view took place in October. So both Big Cass and Enzo Amore were released at the time. So Carmella was way by herself. And they were already called up, and they never got paired together on the main roster.
In fact, I don't even think they were ever on the same brand on the main roster.
They were in NXT, but I don't think they were on the same brand.
I don't remember who won this Battle Royal.
Yeah, it was Nia Jax.
What a mistake. What a waste of a winner of a Battle Royal.
Oh, my God. Like, I don't understand how she might be a nice lady. I'm not a Nia Jax fan at all, obviously.
I hear she's an absolute sweetheart, though.
I did hear that too. So Nia, if you're listening to this right now, it's not against you. You seem like a nice lady. I'm just talking about your booking. Like your booking was horrendous. Not you. You seem like a nice lady. So if I ever meet you, please do not punch me in the face. I don't want to lose any ragu.
Also, don't have either one of your cousins, Dwayne or Roman, come look for us.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't want that to happen either.
But the only there's a few people on this card that are competing at Evolution 2. By the time this comes out, SmackDown will have already been off the air. So Trish Stratus is getting the title shot at Evolution 2.
Against Tiffany Stratton.
And I still don't get why people think Tiffany's her daughter or her sister.
I don't understand that either. But I will say this. I know you are not a fan of that match coming into it. I kind of am intrigued with it because I think it's kind of a dream match. Because Tiffany's great in the ring. Her mic skills are not great. But in the ring, she's great. And Trish still has plenty left in the tank.
Here's why I'm not a fan of it, and I hope it doesn't happen. I'm afraid WWE is going to do something stupid, like have Trish win it and face Charlotte at SummerSlam.
She's not winning. I can guarantee you that she's not winning. If she does win, Naomi's cashing in. By the way,
I could see that. I can't see them having Naomi beat Tiffany 1-on-1.
No, I don't think so. I still think she cashes in on Jade Cargill at SummerSlam, but I mean, we'll see. But yeah, that's the Evolution 2018 show. I enjoyed the show. I wish that they would do it again. I did hear that they didn't want to do another show because like there was too many. There was just too many pay-per-views going on at the time, and Evolution was so popular. People forget about this. In 2020, during the pandemic, it was broadcasted live on Fox Sports 1. Did you know that?
What was?
The Evolution show. The broadcast was casted on Fox in 2020, the 2018 pay-per-view.
I did not know that.
Yeah, this was during the pandemic, and I think Fox was fully investing in WWE at the time, and they started showcasing matches on there. That was one of them. And they also had like a. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad they're doing it again. It should have been a yearly pay-per-view, and I'm excited to see what it does. And the 2018 pay-per-view will go down as in history, and I think it broke barriers for WWE.
It did. And you know who I'm kind of surprised didn't compete on that show?
Who?
The $1 Billion Princess.
Stephanie McMahon. Yeah, but because during like the whole women's revolution, they tried to make her the face of the women's revolution. I am a little surprised, but it's for the best that she wasn't on there.
It is for the best. Just being a McMahon, I'm kind of shocked she didn't make herself in the main event.
Yeah. I mean, I think she was showcased on the show. Like, I think she, if I remember correctly, I think she announced the pay-per-view was going to happen on either, I think it was either Raw or, yeah, it was Monday Night Raw. According to my notes here, it was like a July show. Stephanie McMahon announced that there was going to be an all-women's Evolution show. So that's cool. Yeah. And the one thing I like about the Evolution show is the logo. I love the blue logo and how they have the poster with all the women showcased. I thought it was a really great design.
It was, and I remember they announced it on Raw because they were trying to put an end to the movement on social media.
Yeah, that is true.
But do you remember how that movement got started?
Oh,
I can't remember the two women, but they only gave them a 30-second match on Raw, or they canceled the match, and fans went crazy. I want to say Sasha and Bailey were part of the canceled match.
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
But that's all about Evolution 2018. Stay tuned right here. We're going to, of course, live stream Evolution on Sunday, July 13th. Professor and Shake and Nardog will get that started. I'll be a little bit late, but I will be here for Evolution. And as always, tune in here every Monday, Wednesday for wrestling live stream, Thursday night for Ringside Rant. Go to stadiumrant.com for all your sports news. You can follow me at IndyWill40. You can follow him at Nicholas Mullix. And thank you. We'll see you next week.
Yep. See you next week, everybody.